So what y'all think?
Man, it was amazing, man. I said this yesterday, and it's probably a setup, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. This person I asked I confided in told me it wasn't a setup, but in the world of CHH, Christian rap, whatever we are, whatever you call us, I think this is the equivalent of the Miseducation. I think so. I think that every song on this album.
Miracle, what did you think?
I think every song on this album is a classic. I'll just say that. I think it was awesome. But first of all, let me say this too. I'm a super Lecrae fan. I've always been a super Lecrae fan. So.
Oh wait, you super Lecrae?
I'm super Lecrae. I always been. See, I have a personal. I have some kind of personal connection. Once I've met you, your music, everything just becomes more real to me. So after meeting him, after doing that interview with him, it was like, okay, yeah, I liked your music before, but I like who you are and what you stand for and all that good stuff.
And you don't feel no type of way about.
That's the reason I like your music.
That's real. That's real.
From the hip today.
Nah, that's real, man, and I appreciate that.
But just to let the world
know, the only
know,
reason I like it too.
Rick Sincere is a good artist, man.
Thanks, man.
Man, he sounded all down. He all right, man.
Yo, real talk though. I didn't know you were a super Lecrae fan, but I did know you were a Lecrae fan. Yeah. And honestly, I was always like, I liked Lecrae. I really did, right? And I wasn't a super Lecrae fan, but I'm one now. I'm starkly one now.
Boom.
Man, this album was, okay. I'm in the gym yesterday, right? I'm on the machine. I'm trying to do whatever, right? And so as I'm listening, I look at my Spotify. Lecrae just pops up. It's like, try Lecrae's new album. So I press it. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what he get into, right? Man, from the very beginning, right, until the end of my few minutes of working out, right? I was like, yo, this is insane.
This album is dope in this 5 minutes.
I was playing it right, but if I had a loudspeaker at that time, I would have blasted it to the entire gym without even thinking twice about it. Some Christian rap you listen to, you're like, yo, this is dope. I'm gonna keep it to myself though, because everybody won't feel it.
No windows up.
Yeah, it was windows up. Everybody may not feel this like this. I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? Let me rock to it. This is windows down. Everybody I know need to hear it, right? I took a very extended drive last night with my two sisters, right? Because I wanted them to hear this project because I want to know, right? Yeah. And I'm windows down. You know what I mean? Rooftop back. I need everybody to hear this joint. Christian hip hop or Christian rap is there. There, and you got to know about it because it's dope, it's incredible, and I got to have everybody hear it.
Yeah, so I tell you, same thing happened with me yesterday. I got called to work, and they wanted me to play some music, and I was like, dang, only thing I have on my phone is Christian hip-hop, and these students don't know this, right? These kids don't know it. So I was just like, okay, what do I do? So they were like, play some upbeat. So I was like, hammer time. Because I just started listening to the album. I had it on my phone. And every other Christian hip hop song I had was like very churchy. And I didn't know how my job would have felt with me just like bringing that out right there. Yeah. So man, I put on hammer time. Students were walking up to me like, yo, what is that? Who is that?
And no problem.
And they knew the hook. Like, hey, that hammer time song you played, what was that? Who was that? I was like, man, that's Lecrae. They was like, oh, okay, I gotta catch that.
I dropped that in my class, yo. We're extracting DNA, right? So extracting DNA, they pushing down some stuff in liquid nitrogen. So they pushing it down, they hitting it like this. And so when they were doing that, I said, you know what would go good with this? Hammer time. So I played hammer time, right? and everybody's just like, extracting the DNA, doing their thing, right? Nobody's concerned about, oh, what is this Dr. Rick is playing? None of that, right? It's like, yo, this is dope. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bruh, man, I can't say enough about this album. I'm gonna be quiet though, because I want to hear what you got.
Yeah, me too.
What you think?
Hey, y'all keep trying to shift it to me. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was great. I think it was a wonderful combination of old and new, like what people have, remember from old Lecrae. I mean, he talks about being a rebel. He talks about,
that's real.
Kind of sneaks in rehab. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but like he goes back to that, and I think it's very apparent. He was very true to his message. Like I don't think he shied away from what he talked about in previous albums, but he also still was relevant and brought that new sound, that new perspective, and dealt with real relevant issues. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Incredible.
The best album Lecrae has put out. This is better than Anomaly to me.
But you shaded the Miseducation line. So what holds it back?
Miseducation is it's a classic for everybody.
Now wait.
That's why I said in this genre though.
No, but what I'm saying, well, Lecrae is always putting out projects that everybody in this genre likes. I'm talking about the world loves Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The world.
Yeah,
So what are you saying? So
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Of course, Lecrae is going to get that pushback because of what he represents, what he is. Some people like I saw the Breakfast Club interview and people comments like, I ain't listening to this dude because he a Christian or whatever. You know, that's the white man's religion or whatever. So
and he addresses that too.
Yeah, he does. As a personal fan that's been following Lecrae since World Talk, this is his best work.
Yeah,
This is his best work. Like I like Rebel. I like Rehab.
But where does it stand?
But I think this stands at. He came out. Remember we had that conversation when we were talking about the right time for Christian hip hop? Like this is the right time for Christian hip hop. Right now, this is the right time. And this album shows like he could stand the test of time with this project with anybody that's out right now.
all right, Good Kid, Mad City, right?
Yeah.
Versus this album, where do we stand?
I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, isn't that what we supposed to do?
Good Kid, Mad City is I think the reason why it's why is it so good is because it's a conceptual album versus just an album with songs.
Okay.
Like this is an album to me. It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like it's all weaving together. You know what I'm saying? Like it for you to weave an album together is like from top to bottom, like
Tells
all
one story.
memory, tells one
Connects,
story.
right.
This had multiple stories on. Like he has one song where he's talking about Lecrae has one song where it's almost like he talking about a girl that he used to date that he had to let go.
Yeah,
and,
That was
you
crazy.
know.
Yeah,
I was wondering how his wife felt about that.
I
was like, wonder
appreciated that. I did.
How does his lady
Why are
feel
you
about
looking
that?
at me like you?
But
saying, I
Deer
think
in headlights.
he just had different. He just had different.
we got to talk about that.
Coming
he
back
just
to
went-
that.
Did he have a song for CHH?
Yeah, a few songs.
The
The
last
last
song-
song,
all
Come-
Christian.
the last song was
What
a
does that
gospel mix.
No,
type
I'm saying
situation.
like, did he have a song addressing CHH? Because that "Come Are You With Me" song,
A few of these songs.
I felt like was like,
I
Are You
felt a
With
lot
Me?
I
of
think
it
it's
could've been.
generic.
Last
I think
album,
it's
Sidelines, was
generic.
for us.
I think it was Christians in general.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. I don't think it was
Christians
No,
in
he had a
general.
song called
Because he was talking about like
Come
if
and
you're
Get
a
Me.
hater.
Come and Get Me. Like I
Okay.
felt that was like,
If you
y'all
want
either
me,
with
come and get me.
Y'all either with me or
But
y'all
you-
against
but
me.
you
Or y'all
gotta
not for me. Period.
You got to think though, his fan.
I'm with you,
base-
Lecrae.
Nah, I think that was the Christians
Exactly.
that
It's not-
talked
it's
bad
not
about him.
just-
That was like,
Yeah.
come and get me.
Now look,
Yeah.
people,
He doesn't just draw the attention of just CHH. Like he draws the attention of a bunch of different Christian groups. So I think it extends to all.
Well, Christians in general that
Really
think
bad.
he's
Exactly.
like,
Christians
because he
in
did say,
general.
y'all think I'm an
Exactly.
Illuminati, keep an eye on me. Or something
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So-
People are saying this album is Drake-ish, right?
Yeah, I just saw that.
They're saying it's Drake-ish, and I said it too. I said it to Ryan yesterday,
It's-
right?
I will say the only concern about this album, it is time. It's for this time.
It is for this time period,
It sounds so when it's
but not
when the
every
sound-
song is for this time period.
Yeah, it's not. But when the sound changes, because I think that's not my problem with Lecrae. My situation, I always said about Lecrae is like I never knew that does he have a defined sound for him as an artist. You know what I
I
mean?
think he does.
I think this album, because I've heard him change a lot in all of his projects.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I like how he can do that. He can do that. But I was like, oh, does he have like his sound? Like,
Yeah, and
where
that's
does
my
his sound?
question about
But
him.
I think this album, to me, like in the same way that his message has transcended, like you've seen both parts of Lecrae, right? You saw the, evangelist who was very like vocal about his faith. You saw the guy who was just being real about social issues, his life, depression, like all those things. And I think both of those were in this album. And I think also with his style, you see, okay, he was exploring things, but I'm also seeing hints of what you saw in the past as well. Like I think his rhyme schemes, yeah, it's a little different, but like I'm still seeing some of that old stuff too.
I'm gonna give you Kendrick's last album was his crossover album. This is Lecrae's crossover album. To me,
To where?
from like the sound of today, like you can literally put this on the radio.
yeah.
and
But
let it
he's
go.
asking, where is he crossing to?
I'm talking about to the mainstream, like mainstream,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's getting looks, but he's still like some people still don't know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think this is his crossover album. So there you go, bro.
So what I think is this is to me is definitely his best album. I went back and listened to Anomaly, and it's better than Anomaly. It's better than All the Church Closes. It's better than Gravity. All of them. Anomaly is probably the closest one, but the second half of Anomaly was like dedicated to CCM.
Yeah.
It was like the entire half of it. This one to me is exactly what I thought Lecrae was gonna end up sounding like when we first met him. Remember when we asked him like, "Are you gonna start working with? Would you do a song with T.I.? Would you do this? This is
and
what
this
I
is
had."
Rebel, Heyday Rebel.
Yeah. This is during that time we asked
Yeah.
him that, and it's like this is what I imagined when I asked that question. And so I think to me this is his best project. I think this is where I'm gonna say something crazy. This is probably the best album I heard inside of hip hop this year. I liked it better than Kendrick's album.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Kendrick's album had a more cohesive story,
Yeah.
but songs wise,
Yeah.
You liked it better
think it
than-
was that great. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, he had a few.
When
he had a
you
few
brought
joints.
up when you brought up Good Kid, Mad City, I was like, that's definitely better than this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that.
The dang.
But what about
gonna say
nothing?
that
What
that's-
about nothing was the same?
The album didn't come out this year.
No, I'm just asking.
Oh, in general, like a
yeah,
Drake
in general,
album?
Yeah, like what does that stand against? Nothing
I would
Was
say
the Same?
Drake had higher highs than this one had.
Yeah.
Nothing Was the Same had higher highs. Even Kendrick's album may have had a higher high with DNA. I didn't really
Humble.
like Humble.
Yeah.
So that's not for me.
What's the higher high on Drake's album?
I love the one Lost something. I can't remember the names of them, but
Okay.
there was one that I loved. He may have had two higher highs on there.
And what's the high here?
To me, Broke is the highest high on here.
Broke is the highest high.
To me, it is.
I want to say
Sound-wise,
what you mean.
what you mean is
Aha.
strong too, but
Yeah,
that's
I like
yeah.
what you mean.
That's
problem.
Aha's
You think what you
record.
mean?
That's Aha's record. He
It
sounds
is.
better on it than
What
Lecrae.
Lecrae always
Man,
do those
I have a
records
problem.
because even with Andy, like on Anomaly, that was Andy's record.
It was,
but he
yeah.
fits good on it too.
Yeah, he did. I'm not saying he made
Yeah.
it sound bad. I'm just saying that Aha shined on that joint.
Yeah.
You
That's
think
his
Broke
joint.
is
the sample said Aha, like it was his song.
yeah. You think Broke is better than Hammer Time and better than Blessings?
Maybe not Blessings. Blessings, I think, will go further, maybe, but Broke sounds
Yeah.
the best. Like
Yeah.
Boy Wonder and I forgot the other guy that
Can't look
produced
at,
it.
Like
He murdered
liner
that.
notes no more. I just downloaded it from iTunes.
You can look on Genius.
Okay.
But Boy Wonder
missed that.
and oh boy, I can't remember. He produced some Eminem stuff, and they murdered that track. To me, that track sounds the best.
Somebody said they should have picked a better instrumental.
No. Broke is strong. I like it better than Hammer Time. What You Mean is good, but to me, Broke sounds like that's that joint. Honestly, my favorite song is the intro.
I love the intro.
The intro
Yeah.
is tough to me.
My favorite is Facts.
Facts is cool, but I think the intro sounds better, like just as a song. So when that came on, it was like, oh, okay, I like this. And
Yeah.
and going back and listening, here's my final statement on this. This is the least CHH-ish album Lecrae's ever done. Not meaning in content with Jesus. I'm talking
Okay.
about in sound. And it's a sound that Lecrae helped create.
Yeah.
That anthem, aggressive, the beat has a lot of stuff going on in it sound. Like he did that for years.
I'ma tell the world.
Even
Yeah.
even on Anomaly, I heard it. This album didn't have that sound on it. And I think it sounds better because of it. It's the least CHH sounding album. CHH has a sound. Like you could hear it.
What's the
Especially
sound of CHH? Sean?
it's aggressive, very intricate notes on beats, stadium sounding stuff. At least up until about 3 or 4 years ago, that's what it
You
was.
mean anthem wise?
That's
So, like,
I mean,
You
most of the
Can't
songs
Stop
sounded
Me?
like that. Yeah, it was very
So
like
Gavi
very
type,
very aggressive.
Alex Medina type production.
I mean, Alex Medina did stuff on here too, but very aggressive sounding. If this feels like, okay, we noticed that the vibe is changing, so we're gonna finally change the vibe. If you go back and listen to Church Close 1, APB, which I love, Dizzle and them killed it, but it's still very like 40 deep. You know, everything was just like
Yeah.
ga. I think he finally was just like, all right, Church Close 3 was like the first hint at it that he was gonna start doing it. And I think he finally took a step back and said, I need to kind of swag on this one a little bit more than I normally do. And I think it sounds better because of it. First of all, the production on here, they may not be big names besides Boy Wonder and Metro. The production on here is top notch. If you look at the credits for this and who produced on what, these people got joints. They got joints.
Yeah.
And you could hear the quality on here. I hear Natalie Lawrence influence on here.
Yeah, she
I hear
worked behind the scenes
I hear
on this one.
Swoop's influence on this. Like it sounds like what they're doing right now. You know what I mean? So I do see a shift in Lecrae. And it sounds good. Now, Can CHH move away from the super aggressive stuff? I'm not sure, because that's kind of like that's what the fan base likes, you know.
I think there's a lot of artists that have moved away from it, or either they don't even start out in it.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we have guys like
I
you
think
know
Surf Gang.
Yeah, there's a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I am noticing there's a big change in music right now, and I think he's seeing it and he's making adjustments. But it does make me worry, because a lot of this production he got was outside of CHH. So it makes me nervous that do we have, and if I saw him, I would want to ask him, is there anybody still in the bubble of CHH production that you would still use? Or is this, or do we need to update? Do we need to upgrade to the new software version? You know what I mean? Like, do we need to refresh?
So I was interested in opinions about this, right? So I called somebody from Cross Movement last night.
Okay.
And they were telling me, hands down, this was the best Lecrae project they've heard.
Who, because that matters.
It was Swift.
Okay.
It was Swift.
Okay.
And he was just telling me, he was like,
But
man.
Swift gets it, though.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He gets it.
This is my question. I'm just okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But what he was telling me about the new sound and the evolution of where we have to go was key. And I'm gonna share it with you guys later on, because it was so much I had to unpack from that call. But it was amazing to see he actually got me really, really excited about the new direction of Reach, as opposed to, y'all know I was a huge Reach fan. I mean, you could find Trip Lee and those guys all in my playlist from, you know, the time Rebel came out to where we are now. But I'm actually excited about the new stuff that's coming out, the new artists, Aha Gazelle, working
took you
with
a while,
them.
though.
It took me a while, because you know what yesterday was for me? Yesterday was a reminder that Rebel Lecrae is still there. Like, my favorite song of his from day one has been, from
Don't Waste Your Life.
Don't Waste Your Life. And I felt a lot of that yesterday, especially when he was like, it was always here, but I just waited to prime time to say it.
Well, here's the main difference I see him struggling with, because he did say he dealt with depression, things like that are scary for me, because I know what that feels like. It seems, and this is what I tweeted out yesterday, it seems like people loved it when Lecrae told the truth about the world, right?
Yeah.
When Lecrae was doing, Faking, and what was the name of that song? Is that the name?
Yeah, Faking.
When he was doing all those songs were pretty disrespectful to the world,
Yeah.
right? We were like, yeah. But then it's like the dog's off the leash and he's starting to bark at you. It's like, hey, stop that. He's been doing this his entire career. Now he's barking back at the church a little bit. It's the same dude to me, from who I met years ago.
Yeah.
It's the same dude. It's just that now I think he's starting to see,
The
like,
fullness.
okay, I'm deeper in this now, and I'm starting to see some of the
All the
hypocrisy.
angles.
and some of the,
But that's my question. It's like, what is your progression? Me and Maya talked about it. Like, what was his progression from Rebel? Like, what else would it have to be? Because even if he was like that on Rebel, telling people don't waste your life, telling people that your identity is in Christ, like now it has to be something where it's like, okay, it's almost like Dr. King, and you know what I mean, talking almost like that. And then we even went even further, talking about Malcolm X, and like how Malcolm X was like really outgoing and outspoken and talking to people, and was saying like when John F. Kennedy got shot, like that was good for him, that's good for he got shot. But then he went to Mecca and he started seeing other Muslims of all races and stuff, like, and he started changing his identity.
they kind of came together. Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Lecrae, was like he started seeing like people, like when you start speaking about injustice, certain people had a problem with that. So he's like, wait a minute, this ain't right.
Yeah,
Something ain't right. So
I
he has,
shouldn't- yeah. I think it's I want the same thing. Well, I like the fact that you like me.
Yeah.
But I can't bite my tongue just to get you to like me more. And I think that's what he's basically saying, is that, hey, I'm black, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really
I'm real
heard
black.
Yeah, I really heard the difference. Like, honest, like I think he would even admit that Anomaly he made songs for CCM. Like, he made songs for White Church.
Yeah.
And I think he was just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
This is who I am. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be like.
I mean,
a
I was
mascot.
interested. His last song was interesting.
It's okay.
And it was interesting to see him go gospel.
Yeah.
Which is different. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Kiki
Yeah.
Shit.
I think I just feel like I don't know what he did, but to me it seems like a lot of the criticisms that he was getting kind of were all addressed or like all fleshed out on this album. You know, the whole
only
like,
thing, though-
he's against gospel, all this, like he showed like I appreciate all of these things, and I'm calling out all of these other things. Like I felt like it was a combination.
I didn't hear the direct. I mean, you said you did. I didn't hear the direct shot back at CHH.
I didn't.
I heard it on Church Close 3, but I didn't hear him really address.
No, he was
No, it
calling
was
out
Christians.
Christians.
Yeah, Christians.
No, I'm talking about
Calling out
CHH.
No,
No,
it was
I didn't
CHH.
hear that
I
either.
feel like he either he's changed his mind or he's pulled his punch on it, but
No, he told
I
us
think
what we
he
needed to know
realizes-
is sidelines. We were good.
yeah.
I think he realizes
Sideways.
too that like it's a
Sideways.
bigger
I
picture.
thought you had
like,
sidelines.
Sideways
That
was
too.
the one where he
Both
was
of
like, I
them.
ain't hear the bill say.
but he said it in
Yeah.
sidelines.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
No,
he had a song for y'all on both of those.
No, but the reason I said the one where he talked about come and get me was because it was like y'all could come and get me if you want to, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it is.
But
you know what I mean?
but like I said,
that's a general.
everybody was okay with it when he was saying that about T.I. and when he was
Yeah.
saying that about
Wayne.
random people
Yeah.
in the industry.
Because those are the villains in everybody's
That's the
lives.
villains
Yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I
But-
think because we passed that stage in CHH though. Like now, even some. I mean, you still have some people that do it, but that stage of you're attacking
They're
the
the bad
world,
guys,
they're the
yeah.
bad guys, and when you realize like, man, they need grace just like I need grace.
Yeah.
They needed more.
They need more grace. You know what I mean? But I need Jesus as much as you need Jesus too. So it's like I can't keep talking about you until I look in the mirror and I see I'm dealing with stuff.
There was
I don't know.
there was an attitude that was developing of we have it right, you have it wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong. And I think I don't know where necessarily that came from. I think it's fostered by a sense of wanting to feel like you have it right. You know, when you start talking about what other people are doing wrong, it makes you feel more confident in where you are. But I do think as you grow and mature as a Christian, you start to realize there is no like me against them. Like I didn't deserve what I have.
Yeah.
Like it's only by grace, right? So the same grace that was given to me, like when I look at Jesus in the Bible, he wasn't mean to non-Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was more mean to Pharisees than he
Yeah.
was to non-Jews. When he dealt with people who were tax collectors, prostitutes, whoever, like he was pretty he was only harsh with one lady, but he was pretty gentle with most of them, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if we've kind of flipped that and we started been very hard on, even in line for line, like we're very hard on the world,
Yeah.
and we're very gentle with each other in a sense. And I don't know, I think it may need to flip.
Well, I'll say for this album, man, I am praying for him praying for the whole crew, but definitely because I believe it's Christians that made him feel that way. I believe it's Christians that put him in that dark place. And it's because the criticism is coming down so hard about who he works with and what he doesn't do and where he's not and who he's not talking to.
And who he's not promoting when he does these interviews.
And if Christians are making him feel that way, then shame on all of us, because that is wrong. That's
shame
terrible.
on us all.
That's terrible. It is.
So this is what I have to trust. I hope that his friends, the people he trusts, are being honest with him. I heard him
That's
say
right.
that. I heard him say that Derek hit him up and was honest with him. So whoever has his ear, I pray that they keep being honest with him, because it's not like it's all good. You know what I mean? There's some things that he's done that wasn't always great. But I think that I don't want him to ever let this get him to the point of depression and suicide.
Yeah.
Well, I
definitely.
mean,
It's not worth all that.
I honestly think though that like it makes sense. I mean, as much as we as a CHH, like as much fighting that has been going on for like all the stuff, you know what I mean? It's just, I think we really need to reevaluate ourselves and keep Jesus at the center. I think that's been very frustrating for me. Like for someone who has really been, a follower of Christian hip hop for a while and was very much inspired by it, wanted to be a part of it and help promote it. It's been very hurtful. And I have had moments where I felt the same way. So it kind of makes sense to me.
Well, you felt like you didn't want to be a part of this anymore?
Just in general with, life, all of it. Like, I just think it's very disheartening to see people who are supposed to know Jesus and know freedom and know grace and know mercy not show any of those things. And obviously we all have those same things within ourselves, but just, I don't know. It's very disheartening. It has been hurtful to see.
I think the problem has always been for certain people is we were raised up together. You was in the sidelines with us, and then when it was time to when it was time to go to war, you was going to war with us, and then all of a sudden it felt like you just was like, I'm with them now. I'm not with y'all. I think that's
But-
what they. That's what
Is
people
that
felt.
what people feel like?
Yeah, I think that's what people felt like.
Well, think about the interaction.
over the years.
Think about the interactions that he's had with people, that we even know, right? And so, so there's been like several rappers who tell me, right? Oh, well, Lecrae let us on stage with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he don't have to do that sometimes, but he does do stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And so, if you think about, I'll say this. People have come at Lecrae a lot. Actually,
From
if
every angle.
you've been watching Periscope just for the last few seconds, right? These individuals are listening to us talk, right?
Yeah.
And they're still like shaking my head if he thinks he's a Christian rapper.
But he's not a Christian. He's
And this
saying
is
like,
happening.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Here's my thing.
It's just
Look, Lecrae, when he raps, what is it about?
Yeah.
No, real talk. If you go through every single album, when he raps, what is he rapping about? Right? And he has always been rapping. Now, there's some people who are out. And I understand that. It's disheartening. I'm mad about that. But those people are out.
Right.
Right? But Cray, always been in. He's always been in. Even if I wasn't a super fan of Lecrae, he's always been in. Very starkly about Christ.
Yeah.
Always about God.
Yeah.
All the albums, all the music, always about God. Now, has he presented in different ways and worked with people who people don't feel to believe that he should have worked with? Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
Does he rep God in his music?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm not negating that. Understand what I'm saying?
It's not you.
I
You're not the
understand-
problem.
No, I'm not. I think whatever he's doing, do it. If God is telling you to go this way, go that way. I'm saying from the people that shake SMH, those people are the people that's been rocking with you since your debut, and then they see the change and they got mad at that.
But
But what you get? What are you mad about?
You're mad that he was
It
telling the
looks
world
different.
like,
That
yo,
it
yo,
looks
yo, yo, yo,
different.
yo, versus, how you doing, man? What's going on with you?
I'ma
You
be-
okay? Like,
Yo.
versus that approach.
Sean, the other day, right? Not the other day, like weeks ago, right? We were at I'm getting older. So we were at my birthday party,
Yeah.
right? So at the birthday party, right, the DJ's playing. He's like, yo, it's somebody's birthday, right? It's actually Ryan's birthday, right? So it was Ryan's birthday party. They're like, Ryan, who's your favorite artist, man? It's your birthday. We're gonna play something for you, right? now look, the whole place is chill, right? The place is chill. Music is going. Everybody's vibing to the music. It's all good, right? And they're like, yo, who's your favorite guy? We're going to play, that person's music for you, right? Now, he says, yo, Lecrae's my favorite guy. Play something from him. The DJ's like, well, I see what I can do for you, man. See what I can do. No, real talk.
No, real, like seriously.
Yeah, he's looking around. He's like,
Okay.
I got you, man. I got
He
you.
said, I wish Longwhite was still here.
He starts looking up Lecrae stuff. He sees something, right? What he saw? He saw Lecrae with God. He saw Blessings, right?
Yeah.
And so who's Blessings with?
Ty Dolla
He
Sign.
saw Ty Dolla Sign. Now he saw Lecrae, but when he saw Ty Dolla Sign, he was like,
it was all okay.
this is
We
probably
can
okay to play.
We can play this right here.
Real talk. He's like, this is probably okay to play. This will probably go and vibe in here. Let's see what he's getting into, right? So he plays the joint. When he plays it, it's still a little dip, but it wasn't a severe dip. You know what I mean? Everybody was still vibing. It took a while. People were like,
Could have found Hammer Time, would have been good.
but he didn't know Hammer Time, and Hammer Time didn't feature anybody
That he knew of.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? he played what he could play.
And that's the question. Here's another question, real quick. Is that still our problem when we went up to 1079 that time, even for Lecrae, of the DJ going, like he's sweating, like he's stealing something. You know what I mean? Like, is that still a problem?
Well, look,
we
here's
saw
the
it, we
thing.
saw it.
It's less of a problem now. So think about
Because
it now.
of Ty Dolla Sign.
But wait,
No, because
Rebel
of the work
Lecrae.
Lecrae's done.
No,
Yeah, because
but
of the work.
I'm not negating
Because of the work.
But for that DJ, for that personal DJ, he felt okay because it said
Ty.
featuring Ty Dolla Sign.
Right.
He did feel okay like that, right? But if he heard a Hammer Time, he'd feel okay with that too.
After
and
he
playing
heard
that,
it.
yeah, after he heard that, right?
After he heard that, then he would have been okay with playing the rest of it.
But the
Yeah.
people who've been following Lecrae for a long time, they don't understand why do you have to go and work with those guys when there's so many cool guys over here. Well, the DJs who are actually reaching out to the people who need Christ, right? Those DJs, they're kind of scared a little bit to just jump into a Lecrae play set unless there's something that you know for sure is going to work. And who can you trust? Lecrae, me no know. But
Me no.
but Ty Dolla Sign, I can do that, right? Let's
Right.
see what works here. He plays that joint. Everybody's cool with it. We vibing. It's fine, right? Then maybe by himself, he goes and checks out a Hammer Time. Then he starts playing that in an environment where everybody's vibing, and he can play it without people thinking, "Oh, wait, what is the DJ doing all of a sudden?" Does that make sense?
As
And
it-
we don't.
okay.
They don't understand those moves.
I-
Lecrae may understand making those moves, and I can see why he's doing what he's doing.
And I think maybe one of the issues is perhaps CHH feels more like a clique than it does a community. You know what I mean? Because if we're a community, then it's okay if someone has to go out and try something else, as long as we know they love Jesus and they're doing this and it looks different.
Yeah.
But if we're a clique and it's like, oh, we got to have all our people over here in this little corner and we got to, you know, make us look good, then that's a problem. Like, but we should be a community.
I think the shock for everybody is that he was the clique leader.
Thank you. I
So-
think that's what it
Well,
was.
I think he's trying to.
Yeah, I get it.
The
You
116.
got to use
But I think
your Holy
people
Spirit.
are a little shocked because he was the clique leader, and then he
Time out.
realized that it wasn't right.
Well, he
It's-
opened his eyes, so okay, everybody else, let's open our eyes. Let's come on.
So the intricacies of what's right and what's wrong, we could always debate about, but I do think that, again, this is his best work.
yeah.
I still pray for AHA, I pray for 1K. I pray
Yeah, you
for
gotta pray for
everybody
those
else
guys.
who was a part of that project, because this is going to get a lot of attention.
Oh yeah.
So just pray for these guys. If you hate them, love them, disagree with them, whatever,
Pray.
the attention is coming. So pray. I mean, this dude was in Times Square, Lecrae. You know, like this attention
Oh, yeah, he
is
was
coming.
in Good Morning America.
Good Morning America, blah, blah,
Tori
blah.
Kelly.
So it's coming. So as a Christian, I hope that you're saying, God,
Yeah.
please prepare these people for this, because it's coming. The attention is coming. It's too late. It's out.
Yeah.
So start praying. All right. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Make sure you go below, like it, subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you follow us on all forms of our social media. Also, check out our website and be sure you spread the word. We'll see you next time.
Know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in a lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time's up.
Team Freedom.
Yeah.
We not through yet.
All right.
Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up, turn me off.